welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Wordage. Today it is extremely unfiltered. I'm sorry in advance. It is a 13 and a 14-year-old's perspective on society and how we believe we change things in society to make the world better. Please remember, we are young and we're just saying what we think is right. We are probably wrong. Please do not demonetize us, our fellow streaming platforms. If you do not like it, just report this video and take it down. Thank you very much. And I am your host, Ethan Williams, with our guest again for third time in a row. He's probably going to be our most frequent guest, Wesley Sawkins. So, what do you think society could improve on?
Knowing enough truth about what's happening. It's just like, the government said one thing, so always tell the truth.
Yes, you need to be watching because mainstream media posts a lot of false information and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I say we bring back segregation in the Jim Crow laws. No, I'm joking. But, again, with his point on governmental, mainstream media is extremely untrustworthy. You go into the smaller one. We are people, some people around are trying to buy out the big news companies and spread the truth, actually. You need to be careful what you hear on mainstream media.
And then the government says that's illegal because they can, Congress says it's illegal because they can consider it a monopoly.
Yes, but it's just you got to, if you hear something, do research on it, find out the entire truth. Some people think Donald Trump just changed the name of the Gulf of America just because he's our dictator and monarch. He's a fascist ruler. Yes, fascist ruler. But no, you want to know why he did it? Because Joe Biden said we couldn't pump oil out of
the Gulf of Mexico.
Out of the Gulf of Mexico. So we're spending more money on foreign affairs, bringing in oil from Dubai and places like that. When we have our own natural resources, we're just not mining it for no apparent reason. So he changed it to the Gulf of America, making those laws invalid, so now we can mine our oil again.
Joe Biden, a lot of the Democrats not all Democrats are bad, but if you stand for most democratic values like abortion and totally destroying our country, you're probably gonna want to destroy our country and make us more poor. So
and with abortion, who are you to take a life?
It's a cell. It's not really life, Ethan.
But it's a living organism. Cells are living. There's so many things you can do to prevent that.
It can be it just got born. Oh, better kill it now.
Exactly. Who are you? You think your parents, they probably valued you and decided, hey, you know what? Let's give this child a chance. Anyway, who are you to decide?
It's not the My Body, My Choice protesting when Roe v. Wade got overturned. That was so dumb. It's your body, yes, this inside your body, but it's not a part of your body, so it's not your choice.
Yes, exactly.
So you're
again, and I don't like that you would do this, but just put them up for adoption or something. You don't.
Yeah, you're able to. If you don't want a child, you can safely abandon it at a local firefighter station, and they will take it to foster or an adoption center for free. Exactly. No questions asked.
Just don't. It's just. It isn't really your choice.
It's not your choice.
You have been given the opportunity.
And it's not even your body. God gave it to you. So.
You have been given the opportunity to, bring another life into this world and, teach them like your parents taught you, hopefully. And, even if your parents didn't give you a good life and you don't want to let them down, you can be a whole nother person. You don't have to follow their disciplines.
And Democrats also want abortion because it's Satan's plan, destroy all people. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and so that's what Democrats... being a Democrat, used to, a Democrat was fine, but most Democrats on a large scale, like Kamala Harris... again, there can be Democrats out there that are fine, but people standing for modern Democrat values, I don't think can, be... they can be a Christian, but they cannot be an on-fire Christian who is truly a man or woman of God.
It's the principles that you stand for define the type of Christian you are. And like, I can't remember where we are. Pumping oil. Would you rather have us keep giving our money and keep going into governmental debt to get oil when we have our own resources?
And that's why Trump's charging a higher tariff to China. Like, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
Well,
like 50%.
currently, with our immigration stuff, Mexico's like, wait, no, you can't bring back our immigrants.
Oh yeah.
You have to get our signage first. Well, they can't just dump their prisoners into America.
Ethan, it's because they're seeking asylum.
Well,
they're oppressed because they're not the same skin color.
Well, I don't. But like we have. For your information, you may not know this, we have cut all international affairs because of Mexico and their willingness to not take their immigrants back. It's like me...
It's like Muslim terrorists.
It's like me giving you a cat, the cat destroying your house, you trying to give it back to me, and me being like, no, you can't do that. I have to think about it for 3 more years. No, because the cat will be dead in 3 years because it's like 85. Like... I mean, like, we're importing more...
That was a good metaphor till you said it was 85.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's art. Yes. If they come in legally, okay. If you come in legally, yes, come in, have your children, whatever.
And get legal. You can't, like, we literally can't background check them because they burned their ID just so, like, we couldn't find
Yes, exactly. And, like, there are actually people who go through work to get into this country. Thank you. To those people. Yes, we are a country of rebels, outcasts, but... You gotta remember, we have to keep some discipline. If we just let people into our country, it's stupid. Like, people in Canada are mad that we put up a fence between a city and America. They're like, we should be free access. You live in Canada. You do not live in America. Okay? Thank you. Stay out of our... Like, okay.
I mean, Canadians aren't, like, bad or anything.
No.
But... I'm sure there's illegal immigrants that'll fly up to Canada illegally and then they go down into America.
Well, there's Peri, who hopefully will be the next prime minister, who will definitely make changes and stuff like that.
Maybe they'll give us Niagara Falls.
Yes, Niagara Falls. That's in Canada?
They have one half of it, and we have one half of it.
Crazy. Another thing, buying Greenland. What's your opinion on that?
I honestly didn't know we were going to buy Greenland. I don't think we need to, because then the illegal immigrants are going to fly to Greenland.
It's going to be an illegal immigration dump.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
No.
That could be like the prison island when Australia was first discovered. Like, people just used it as a prison island.
Yeah, it's literally...
it could be a prison island. We just clear everything out.
Yes.
Like, back then, they would just be like, oh my gosh, we got like 20 people. Dump you in Australia. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, think about it this way. Greenland. We could see incoming ballistic missiles. Only God knows the natural resources and oil is there. Like, when we bought Canada... When we bought Alaska, everyone made fun of him until we found gold.
It was Seward's icebox until...
Seward's icebox, yes. And then it became famous, because now we have gold and oil. So there we go. What if Greenland has a bunch of... I don't know. Okay, I'm not... Yes, they probably have minerals. I don't know about oil and stuff, but it's just... And we already have multiple military bases there. It would be a good vantage point.
I mean, it's Greenland. Come on. But it would also take us deeper into debt. And illegal immigrants don't have to pay taxes.
I am sorry to say this. If we want to pay off debt, we're going to have to go through maybe 1,000 years to finally get out of debt. We're in 30... I'll look that up.
We're like in $20 trillion or something. It's something crazy like that.
We are at 30.85 trillion. You people who are protesting against U.S. debt, how would you like to pay for that?
Yeah. Burn.
Okay. There's just... I don't like saying this. We should try to pay that off, but we're never gonna get it paid off. Why not just go into more debt?
That's because China, in partnership with Kamala Harris, it can bomb us.
Kamala Harris, I doubt she'll ever be able to. I don't know.
Yeah, she probably go in the mental asylum.
Oh,
I have a YouTube channel you guys should also subscribe to, and it's not Unfiltrd Wordage. It's called Freedom Tunes. It's really funny, and it has a lot of truth in it, and I think it's hilarious. You guys should check it out on YouTube.
Yes, we are plugging that, but like, you Freedom Tunes people do not copyright us for saying your name. I'm very sorry. We're just trying to give you some credit. Now, we are not trying to be anti-leftist or anti-republic. We're just giving our views. We are both personally Christians and right-handed. Marxists, yes. Right-handed. I don't even know if I'll release this video. If I did, great. If I didn't, well, thank God.
Hey, guys.
Just because it's extremely...
I drink the Marxist Kool-Aid every day.
Good for you. It's just again, there's so many ways in society. Why should you get to be a camel and I have to be the man who works
who rides
all
on
day?
top of the camel.
Yes, you come home, you're the camel, you have to poop in the box and eat lettuce all day while we have to work. This is I bet you half of the furries and stuff are
camels.
Or just people who are lost. I almost went sexist there.
It's just identity crises, and
yes.
That's Satan's destroying the human dignity. Oh, you're a dog. You should lose all grip of yourself. And that's a naked, so I'm surprised we don't have naked people walking around yet.
I'm not surprised either.
You're not surprised either.
I'm not. I'm really. And
But Satan's making he's oh, you're not a boy, you're a girl, and he's distorting God's natural view of reality.
Look in your pants. You'll know if you're a boy or a girl. It's not that hard.
No, there's just a bunch of scars there and something new.
Oh, fascinating. Well, again, with that and women, men are supposed to be the
protectors of the household.
Protectors of the
and
household.
we're not being gender biased. That's what the Bible talks about. Men are the protectors and the providers, and women, they need to stay home and take care of the children and cook. The Bible says that stuff.
But you can still work. You can still
work, yeah,
get your
but
money's worth and stuff like that.
Women are acting oh, we've been oppressed because we've been doing what the Bible says for the past 6,000 years. It's no. Women aren't oppressed. There are men that are mean to women, and that is not fair. But some women are just I'm oppressed because you're oppressed, and it's not fair. And there have been really dumb rules for equality. Trump took down DEI stuff, which stands for diversity, equality, and inclusion. So if
it's firing the person who knows what they're doing, but letting the gay dude in just because he's gay.
He's the minority.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going.
Women's oppression.
Oh yeah, in certain schools. In all schools, this is a full-on law. At our school, we have 2 more women's sports than men's. There's a law that says you cannot have, you can't legally have more men's sports than women's sports for equality. And so I think Trump is gonna get rid of that law, but it's just super dumb. It's oh no, you need to have enough for the women and the men, and women are just as good and strong as men are.
I'm sorry. It's
women
physical. You guys are good. You can be strong. It's just physique. Think about it. Physical. We are built.
In the average, men are stronger than women. That's the way we were made. We were supposed to be the protectors of family. In the Olympics, there was a lady in the boxing finals, and there was this trans guy that made it too. And the lady had to quit because she got punched so hard she thought she was gonna die. And the guy got first place because he was trans. And the Olympics says you have to enter as your born gender, but he's well, I am this gender, so I guess I'm born this way, and he's just totally messed up by Satan.
Because if you can weaken people, they're vulnerable to anything to escape the pain.
And so they're I'm gonna become a new gender. And a big thing is, it's just Satan just again comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and so he'll be I'm not a man, you're a woman. You're not a woman, you're the 842nd gender. And it's oh my gosh. I'm glad Trump made it so that there's legally 2 genders, but still, we should not have to make a law. That's how distorted our country is now as a culture. It's just really, really messed up. And
There are.
It's dumb.
According to this stupid stuff, you people, congratulations. You made 72 freaking different genders. You happy?
Officially? Oh, last I heard there was like 432. No, that's what certain schools were teaching, like in Texas and California. So 72. So there were 72 official genders before Trump made the executive order.
Yes.
72 official genders. That is messed up. Like, there's probably only one for each gender except for the OG2. And then there's like a couple billion for each.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone classifies as a jar of mayonnaise and is married to their car.
Have you even heard anything besides like bi? Like any gender? I think queer is one. Like
bisexual, asexual.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like,
I saw the most recent, like, you know how this is LGBTQ. Most recent I saw was LGBTQIA plus. Yeah.
Oh, like if you're like asexual and aerosexual, one of them means you aren't attracted to someone emotionally,
asexual,
and
literally,
someone means you aren't attracted to them sexually. Can you just not like?
Do you
need to be
asexual? Means in science you produce without like any mating,
like?
Sexually.
Do you like need a label like that? Can't you just say no? I don't like.
I don't like you. I'm not attracted by you. It's like, no, I gotta be a very sexual country.
No, I gotta classify as a potato chip. Like.
Ah! Is that the 42nd?
Yeah. Nah. But like. Yeah. And it's great that now we're having like, and also like with this, like our Christians, they're like, the end is near. We just need to keep on our faith. Like, would you like, instead of like hermiting away and like going in the church and being like, people, I love you.
Go and spread the word.
Go and spread the word. Like the church, I can almost guarantee you, there aren't as many people in the church than there are out there who need God.
Yeah, you're right. Well, the church is for fellowship.
Yes.
So it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's good that a bunch of people are in the church, but the whole point is
we are the
everybody
church.
Outside of the church should need God, because God calls most of us.
We are
all
the
of
body
us,
of the church.
He calls all of us to. No, we're the. Yeah, we are. But if you're Christian and you're not going to church, God calls you to go to church. So there should be. Every single Christian should be going to a church unless he physically can't. Yes. Or, like, it's, like, millions of miles away to get to a church.
Yes. And, like, again, with that kind of...
And you can still do a Bible study and, like, a worship with your family.
Oh, yes, 100%. And, like, if that just means clicking onto YouTube and watching a sermon live... Oh, shoot. Almost fell. That's fine, too. And, like, how you're, like, the end is near. Who really cares about the end? You shouldn't be worried about that. All you should be worried about is spreading the faith until the day you die.
And the funny thing is, why would people be freaking out? Because Jesus said, live like the end is near. So, like, why is it only happening recently? Like, you're supposed to live like that all the freaking time.
Why are we now scared about it, guys?
And it's like, he says live like the end is near, which meant, like, we're supposed to be like, I need to tell everybody before Jesus comes back. Like, that's what it's supposed to mean. Now people are just like, America's gonna get blown up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you shouldn't be worried about what is to come, but what is now. You need to spread and save as many people as you can, because think, there was a lady who was eating pizza by herself at a table a couple days ago, and you just thought, weird lady eating pizza by herself, and like walked off. You could have sat down and talked with her.
And I mean, I totally don't do that. So I'm
yeah,
not righteous. None of us are really righteous in that case. I mean, we can talk all day, but when it comes to action, I mean, I'm pretty guilty too. So don't be like, oh my gosh, they're blaming me just because they're better. We are definitely not holier than thou.
We are not perfect. No one is perfect. You just have to learn the art of repentance.
And we haven't either.
Yes, again, we are a 13 and a 14-year-old kids talking into a microphone I bought at Best Buy, sitting on my desk. I mean, come on. Who are we to tell you what to do? We are just saying this is what we believe.
We can still tell you what we believe in the name of Jesus.
Yes, and if you don't believe this, that is fine, but unfortunately, someday the time will come, you'll either die or Jesus will come back.
And the Bible says it will be like in the days of Noah, where people were partying and having weddings, and the flood came, and they're just like, I'm a party, drink all the champagne you can before you die. And it's like, it's not like Jesus is going to open the clouds and you're going to have like 10 seconds to be like, no, never mind, God, I believed in you. He said it'd be in the twinkling of an eye. So all the people who are Christians will be taken. All the people who aren't are just going to be left on the earth for like
7 years of tribulation.
7 years of tribulation. Well, there's more than that. There's like multiple years, and then there's the 7 years of Jubilee. Like, it's really weird. I don't want to make their calculations in my head. But like, you better be afraid, because if you're not a Christian and Jesus comes back, like, you can be on the highway and then you see the car. It just starts going off the road, or it slows down. It's like the driver's gone. You want to know why? Because Jesus came back. It's like, think about the chaos. Like, somebody could be flying a plane. Oh, Jesus came back. Bye-bye, plane. Like, it would be very scary when Jesus comes back. It would be like, it would be an international disaster, because it would be machines messed up, crashes everywhere. And just people missing in general. Like, families will be torn apart because one of them might be a Christian, and they'll be like, oh, they're gone. Bye-bye, shoot.
Oh, no, there goes that.
Like, there's a traumatic...
He went to get the holy milk.
There's, like, a movie called Left Behind, and there's multiple versions of it. It's pretty traumatic, if you ask me. But it shows how these people didn't believe in Christianity. They weren't Christians. They didn't believe in Christianity. They weren't Christians, and, like, their friends got taken. They tried to minister to them, and they said no. And a couple days later, Jesus came back, and, like, they slowly figure out, how, the end times are happening, and that Jesus came back. And, like, it shows how the beast, which nobody knows who it is, they say he will survive a fatal wound. So, like, he could literally get his head chopped off and live. Like, it's gonna be a big deal. Everybody will know, like, that he survived a wound that should have killed him. Like, it's huge. And he will kill every Christian and make people worship him. And right before this, the Jews will build the third temple, and he will fly in there and just destroy everybody there. And he will be worshipped at the Jewish temple. And he will kill all the Christians, like, just a price on their head. Like, there's not a price on their head, but he will have them all killed. Like, I remember a traumatic part of the movie where there's a couple 6-year-olds that were Christians, and they're in a jail cell about to get executed. And one has a little red balloon, and it's his turn to get executed. And you're taken, like, above the prison, and you hear a gunshot, and you just see the little red balloon go up. Like, it's scary how the end times will be. So if you don't know Jesus and Jesus comes back, you're probably cooked. And it says, if you become a Christian during that time, it will be especially hard for you. But if you endure those times and remain a Christian, the reward will be immense.
Oh my gosh. With the rapture theory and all that, I'm not gonna get into biblical theology on this episode. That could be something we do later in time. But what he said, when all of this happens, do you want to be the dude who's the reason hundreds, perhaps thousands of lives were left suffering through this? I don't think you do.
I don't want to be the beast.
You don't want to be the beast. I don't want to be the beast either. No one. It's like...
It also says he'll be, like, really charismatic. So, like, sometimes you're just like, maybe that guy could be the beast. But, like, if he's not insanely charismatic and everybody, like, if not everybody loves him, he's probably not the beast. Like, Elon Musk is probably not the beast because he's not, like, insanely charismatic. So, yeah. Poor Elon.
But, like, yeah, it probably isn't Elon. And our government, it's just... It's a shady business, you know? I mean, I would like to see you and your family try to run a country. If you're gonna complain all this bunch, why don't you be in the president's shoes?
You gotta pardon them 15 minutes before the next president's inauguration. Just because they haven't committed a crime, but I'll pardon them anyway.
Let's not get into pardons, because he did pardon 4,200, which the average amount is, 200. But Donald Trump, within 2 weeks, has already pardoned 600 people. That's 3 times the normal amount.
Yeah, but Joe Biden pardoned people that weren't charged for a crime yet.
Why did he pardon his family? What did his son do? I mean,
He's like, I'm not going to pardon Hunter. I'm never going to pardon Hunter. Oh, look, I pardoned Hunter.
Yeah, he probably didn't even know. He was probably sleeping, and they grabbed his hand and made him sign a bunch of things. And
No, Joe Biden definitely pardoned Hunter.
My man ran into the Amazon rainforest after. How lost do you have to be to walk through the Amazon rainforest? I'm sorry. We aren't trying to be extremely controversial here, but it's just. Okay, yeah, we kind of are, because we're, gonna get ourselves demonetized beyond our own imagination and get sued, probably. But,
nobody gets sued from YouTube, unless enough people watch it.
Exactly.
If we get sued, you're gonna have to sell all your cool stuff in your room.
Well, selflessness. Yes, that's another thing that I'm not gonna get into, because I'm not very selfless, and I do not have the right to talk about that just because I'm not,
Worthy.
I'm not worthy. Well, okay, that's another thing. You're like, for Jesus, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. No. He says, take up your cross daily, you not being worthy.
And then he also says, shut up and stop saying that.
Yeah, take up your cross daily and follow me. Sacrifice. To follow him's a sacrifice. You will be prosecuted, like he just said. In the end times, of course, in this movie, unfortunately, you will be prosecuted. It is a difficult
Persecuted.
thing. But the rewards are great. Persecuted. My bad. Say
Yeah.
something smart again.
Say something smart again? Are we going to talk about the end times?
No, we need to switch.
That would be its own thing.
Yeah, that would be...
The end times will come later, okay?
Yes, later.
It will be like a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, we're struggling to get to 30 minutes. Back to politics. Another thing is I think we should legalize on Wednesdays we get free corn dogs, universal free corn dog Wednesdays.
I think we should just end the podcast because how bad this is going.
No, true. But, again, it's all it's a view that you have.
And none of the stuff we say is necessarily true, but we believe it's all true. I mean, and everybody has their own viewpoint. I'm not saying, oh, you have your view, and it's okay, and I'll have my view. There are views that are wrong, and I believe that. I am pretty firm in my views, and I hope you will be able to see the truth.
He's really firm.
I hope you'll be able to see the truth with your views if they are incorrect, or if you think they're aligned with the Bible. You should always double check and make sure they really are.
Yes. Well, it appears that our time is almost up, so let's say some final words. I think that even if you're just hearing this is like, oh, newsflash, turns out I'm a horrible person. You are not a horrible person. You are just a lost sheep that needs to return back to God.
Bye-bye. Like and subscribe.
No, shut up.
And do a bunch of stuff.
No.
And
okay. So, thank you for tuning in today's episode of Unfiltrd Wordage. I am sorry we changed the name on you a while. Unfiltered Thoughts is a very commonly used name. I wonder who knew. So now it will be posted as Unfiltrd Wordage. We have it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and that's all the ones I have memorized. So thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Ethan Williams, and this is your guest, Wesley Sawkins.
Oh, yeah.
Have an amazing day, and may God be with you.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Oh, yeah.